So it is the 6 de Mayo, or one day after Cinco de Mayo, and this video is going to talk about the 4th day after surgery and the 5th day after surgery. So first things first, something alarming happened actually this morning when I woke up in the middle of the night. I woke up and my face was swollen. Now, if you've been watching the other videos I had on the first day, second day, third day after surgery, one of the cool things was the swelling was very limited to my scalp, and my face didn't really look too swollen up, and I didn't have any bruising like I see with some of these other people who are sharing their hair journeys online. But things changed. Now, for the first 4 nights, remember, I was sleeping at a 45-degree angle, so meaning that I was with a neck roll on, so I wasn't able to lean back all the way. My head wasn't really touching anything. The back of my head wasn't really touching anything when I was sleeping, which made it very difficult to get a good night's sleep. One thing is, the night between the 3rd and the 4th day, worst night of sleep so far. Probably because a lot of the anesthetic was wearing off, so whenever I was leaning back on my head, I could feel the grafted area, or the donor area start to hurt more because it was healing and hairs were growing back. But also it was sensitive because there's still a lot of open wounds and a lot of cuts. Remember, I keep saying this, 3,605 grafts, or 3,608 donors were taken out of the backs and sides of my head. So 2 nights ago, I had some of the worst night's sleep I had since day 1. And remember, I haven't been taking any pain medications, so because my head hasn't been hurting. So yesterday, I actually spoke with my doctor and one of the nurses in his office, and kind of shared a little bit about the sleeping issues I've been having. And she's like, "Oh, you should take the acetaminophen with codeine in it. That'll help soothe the pain." Before she said that out loud, I thought that those pain pills were just meant for during the daylight hours, if my head was hurting extra, or if it was throbbing, and then just take one of those to ease the pain. I didn't even think about how it could help facilitate and make my night's sleep better. So last night, there was 2 different variables. This is the night between day 4 and day 5, because today's day 5. There's 2 variables that I changed. Number 1, I slept in a bed. So I slept leaning all the way back with one pillow just on the back of my head, so the grafted area on top was not making too much contact with anything. The crown of my head was definitely cleared up. I had to make sure I wasn't digging my head into the pillow, or kind of rubbing the pillow against my face. That was the first variable. I slept laying down. Man, I got a good night's sleep. The second variable of between nights 4 and 5 was I took one of those pain pills, one of those pain medications. So, back in 2011, I played in the Arena Football League, and I had shoulder surgery, where they rebuilt my right shoulder, and then, also had to heal up my left hand, did some surgery in there. So I was, got surgery on both arms at the same time. And when my doctor prescribed me medications during those times, and this is as a 320-pound professional athlete, O-line baby, the pain pills didn't work. So I just stopped taking them after the first day because it did not work. Now, last night, because I really was desperately in need for a good night's sleep, I took one. Some funny stuff happened. So around 1:45 a.m., don't ask me why, but there was a spicy sriracha packet, like one of those little packets from Jack in a Box, kind of like how they kept the buttermilk sauce in there, or butterhouse sauce in there. But it was like a sriracha spicy one. For some reason, in the middle of the night, I grabbed it, and apparently I tried to take a bite out of it like it was an apple. So that's flew everywhere. I had to, wash my sheets and wash my pillowcases this morning, but I also had to get out of bed and clean up all the hot sauce that was all over the floor and the walls because I bit into it. That's the first weird thing. The second weird thing is when I woke up at that 2 a.m. time, and and I looked in the mirror when I went to the bathroom, my face was swollen. And when I say my face was swollen, I mean like, man, my eyes, it was hard to open up my eyes. No, that's not true. I could see perfectly fine, but you can tell that my eyes were closed a little bit more. And if I really try to stretch them out really big, they wouldn't go anywhere near what they would go now, right? And now I still think my head's a little bit swollen. So that was really shocking, that my face was swollen enough and my eyes were kind of like that. So I could still see perfectly fine. Nothing was obscured, but I can tell that they were closed. At that point, I freaked out, man. I started like massaging my face, trying to get the blood out of my face because, if you've been watching these videos, you knew that I was always concerned about the third and the fourth day with regards to swelling. Because some of the other videos I'm seeing, everyone's getting their heads starting to blow up like a balloon during those times, and that's when their faces start to bruise. Last night, I was like, oh boy, at 2 a.m., I was like, oh boy, it's starting, and tomorrow's going to be worse, the next day is going to be worse, and now this is the start of the funny videos, and, one of the reasons why I've made those viral videos of it, it's me, Jessica, because I wanted people to see the day-to-day updates. But I still went to bed. I still went to bed laying down. Now, let's think about it. There could have been a lot of factors that contributed to my face being swollen. It was in the middle of the night, number one. It was in the middle of the night, so I was tired too. So that's one reason why I wouldn't be able to open up my eyes too wide. Number two, that was the first night I was sleeping with my body not at a 45-degree angle. So that is the first night I was sleeping flat, which means the blood wasn't able to rush out or vent. I mean, what does blood do? The circulation of the blood stayed in my face as opposed to going down to the rest of my body because I was laying on my back and gravity wasn't helping it out. Gravity was just pulling the blood down in the bottom of my head as opposed to draining it, down my chin, down my throat, to everywhere else. The third thing is that the pain medication. Now, could have been a factor? Maybe. I think that pain medication was a factor in me getting the best night's sleep I've gotten in the past 5 days. But realistically, I think the face swelling situation had more to do with my sleeping position than anything else. So when I woke up this morning, my face was not as swollen as it was at 2 a.m. last night, but it was still pretty swollen, and it remained that way till around like 2 p.m., like where it was slowly decreasing and like the swelling was slowly going down throughout the day. And this was without icing it, but I was, throughout the day just massaging my forehead, getting the blood out of there. So I think this is a good tip that if you get this hair surgery, this transplant, that even if you're not icing your face or even if you're not, actively swollen, you should still pretend like you're doing your skincare routine and, firmly but gently, that's oxymoron, massage your face to make sure that the blood continues to circulate so you don't have those raccoon eyes if your blood the swelling stops in your face and you start bruising. So that's pretty much the update. Tried working today a little bit, but when you start taking on some, so that was the thing. I started working today a little bit, but as soon as you really start focusing in and start trying to grind away, then my head started tingling. And at that point, I realized I shouldn't be doing this. And there's a reason why. You got to take it easy and got to try to live a stress-free life for, at least the first 10 days after your surgery, because when they implant the hair grafts in the area, remember, they're just sticking hair follicles in there. So for the first 7 days before everything actually connects and attaches, you got a hair follicle just sitting in blood and gooey membrane stuff until it scabs, sticks in place, solidifies, and then takes. So I got a little work in. I made sure I didn't stress myself out too much. It was good to check in with my paralegals. They're all stars, rock stars, and helping me out. And yeah, yeah. Well, another thing I've noticed is every day I wake up, I try to stay hydrated. You got to stay hydrated as much as you can, including electrolytes, good healthy foods, no fast foods, like things that are going to give your body energy, and the good energy and the healthy energy to repair itself and to heal itself. Because 3,608 times 2, right? So 7,216 holes were poked into my head. And if you think about it, that's 7,216 injuries, wounds, which will eventually turn into scabs. So those are 7,216 different holes that need to be repaired and need to get platelets to them, and which means your body needs to start repairing a bunch of platelets and start growing a bunch of that stuff. So today I had chicken soup twice. Well, that's not 100% true. This morning I had steamed chicken with vegetables in a broth, and tonight I had chicken soup. Same ingredients, same dishes, served differently. Both 100% delicious and exactly what the doctor ordered. Another thing that changed today, and this is the update for day 4 and 5, because yesterday was kind of similar to day 3, where just had to make sure anytime I went outside, I put an umbrella over my head, or I put one of those surgeon caps on just to make sure that nothing would be touching the grafted area. Which, San Jose yesterday was about 85 degrees, so I wasn't the only one walking around with a parasol. But today, I upgraded. So, we all know I have a big head, and I have this one hat where it's my Idaho hat, and I loosened it up to the loosest part. So now this hat, I think, can hold a size 8.5, right? And, just slowly putting it on top. So there's about 1.5 inches between my crown of my head and the top of the hat, so nothing's touching. But at the same time, there are some holes in this hat, so it's breathable, because I want my hair to breathe as much as possible. And, heads up, wearing a hat is not going to be the solution for you to be outside for 3 to 5 hours, or even an hour in direct sunlight, right? I would still say, hey, grab your parasol, grab your umbrella, and if you can, get indoors. Try to stack up as many head protections as you can, so it's shade, hat, skull cap that doesn't touch the grafted area, umbrella, parasol, more shade, right? Because you really want to protect the hair follicles and the tops of your head from too much sun exposure, because although I heard you don't want it to get burned, obviously, because then that'll mess up with everything, and then all of a sudden your scalp is trying to repair a whole bunch of other things that aren't the 7,216 holes in there. But I would also say that the safer you are, the better, because y'all are investing a lot of time, money, and effort into this situation. So stay straight and on the straight and narrow for a few weeks, and then let your body heal as much as it can while it's on the straight and narrow, while you're getting hydrated, while you're eating healthy foods, while you're kicking all the rest of the junk that you do in your normal life. So that way you're going to get the best genes possible. So that's that. So I got this hat now, which is funny, because when I put on the hat and I put on the sunglasses, I really wish I filmed this video this morning at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. when my face was a little bit more swollen, because then I would have just hit y'all with the pow. Take off the sunglasses, and you're like, oh, wow, okay, cool. I had no idea. I thought this was just some dude talking, and then now I realize he's some dude who is multiracial. So, other than that, things are going well. I can't wait to get another good night's sleep tonight. That's the goal. Get another good night's sleep tonight. And then I'll check in with you all tomorrow. by the way, if you guys have any more trending videos that I should do, because that is one thing that's keeping it fun for me to make sure I do the same trends every day, because then I can see the progression in myself. Because when I was evaluating whether I wanted to take this surgery or go through with it, or even after I signed up for it and was looking to see what to expect, I was following the people's day-to-day videos to see what they were posting about so I could see the difference. And a lot of the people stopped making the videos after the second or third day, which was super alarming, because like I said earlier, is after their face was really swollen, they'd film it one more day and then that was it. And then all of a sudden, like after an undeterminable amount of time afterwards, they'd be okay again, like their face would be unswollen. So I'm trying to keep this as informative as possible, but also keep it as honest as possible. And man, if there's anyone out there who is like me, who is interested in what to expect, what it looks like, and what the day-to-day afterwards looks like, feel free to watch these videos. By the way, I know earlier I talked about, me getting back to work, but there's people who I know who get back to work after 3 days, right? And could I have worked before? If it was a do or die situation, if I had a trial that I wasn't able to move, absolutely. You got to do what you got to do. But when I started working, even today after day 5, when I started thinking and working too hard, I started feeling the tingling sensation in the top of my scalp and my head, which was similar to how you would feel if you ate spicy foods, which is what you're also not supposed to do during this period of time, because you don't want to agitate the growth. You don't want to slow down any healing, and you don't want your personal choices to determine and to impact what your body is doing to itself when it's trying to heal itself. So just heads up on that. And number 2, it's probably number 9 now. Everyone looks good with a bald head. So when you go out and about, wear it. You know what I mean? Like this morning I went over to Phil's Coffee and it looks like I just got a really good lineup. You know what I mean? So another thing that got brought up was, someone asked me, well, congratulations on getting the surgery. Do you feel a lot better about yourself right now? And I'm just like, what the fuck? I feel exactly the same right now, but now I know I have a good reminder that I look good with a shaved head. I know for some people, getting this surgery, for some people, getting the surgery can mean a lot of different things, and everyone is different. Everyone has different reasons why they think about this or why they do it. Ultimately, I think it's, personal preference. I don't want to say it's because of confidence, because, there's a lot of people who do this, who are confident, who are going to stay confident. And, there's a lot of people who are going to gain confidence with this as well. Right. But yeah, I don't want to quote Samuel L. Jackson here, but I'm still the same person. And I'd say the biggest thing is, with it, without it, whatever, I don't care, right? But getting it, number 1, I think I look good with a shaved head. I kind of want to roll with this longer now. So who knows how long I'm going to have a shaved head for. But number 2, I would have never known had I not gotten it, right? So beforehand, I signed up for it back in December. I delayed the surgery for about 5 months, not because I was like, oh boy, I want to get it, but because I had to, plan my. I got these mosquitoes out here because summertime, it's like 82 degrees, and my blood is just very attractive to the mosquitoes. They want my hybrid blood. I'm telling you, man, get stung a lot around here. Same dude, different day, different haircut. But, if I didn't get the surgery, whatever. If I got the surgery and I got it, now I'll know. And I can tell you after the fact, I'm still the same person. And yeah, we'll see how it goes in the future. I mean, who knows? I might look like Fabio or something like that later, and then my personality will be completely different, which I don't really see happening. Because I'm still a dude from San Jose. So I'll catch y'all later. This is it for today's situation. I'm going to make a video for days 6 and 7. If there's anything crazy or independent that happens in one of those days, I might pop out a video early. But if not, now I'm going to do I'm going to start coupling them up a little bit in case there's a big update. So if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. If you see me outside, say what's up, just like normal, right? And but one thing, if you pin me down when we're in public and start asking me questions about doctors and post-op and pre-op and all that good stuff and the considerations while I'm out at dinner, I'm just say, hey bro, we'll talk about it later. So I'm open to sharing a lot, but at the same time, when we see each other in public, we gotta be cool. Pretend like we never got anything done, right? Even though everyone's gonna know. And honestly, that's why I try to be honest over here, is just to let y'all know. So peace out. I'm gonna catch this Warriors Mavs game 1, and yeah, stay cool. All right, bye.